Autoimmune diseases are a group of otherwise unrelated disorders that are caused by the inflammation and destruction of tissues within the body. In other words, the body attacks its own cells. Joining us now to discuss its effects in the workplace is Tracey-Lee Davis, herself a patient for rheumatoid arthritis and a campaigner for the disease. It's great to have you, Tracy. Not least, I mean, they always say the anchor shouldn't add her personality and voice into it, but I too have rheumatoid arthritis, and it's so difficult to explain to people what it is, because I'm perfectly healthy for 3 weeks and then all of a sudden I can't walk, and it's a huge crisis for me. Explain to us what rheumatoid arthritis is, and then tell us how it features as a component of autoimmune disease.
Well, it is, like you said, it is an autoimmune disease. What happens is that your body attacks itself. That's basically what it is. With rheumatoid arthritis, all the attacking is happening in the joints. Mostly starts in the small joints, hands and feet, but it can also manifest anywhere, in the bigger joints, the hips, the knees. I've got it in all my joints, my body. And what it does, it creates swelling, redness of the joints, and extreme pain. And as you just said, it can render you disabled for any amount of time. Yes, and we do look like completely normal people, disease-free people. But unfortunately, it's something that it flares up because of reasons like stress or lifestyle changes or things happening in your life that just adds to that, and not the right medication, and then you'll be fine for 2 weeks, and for the next 3 weeks you can't get out of bed.
How does that impact on your day-to-day life? Because you're a dancer, for instance, and you're very active in the arts, and apparently you've had to suspend your career at a time.
Yes, well, I was diagnosed at the age of 16, so I was very lucky actually, because it was early diagnosis and also early vigorous treatment. At the age of 16, I was in my final year at school, and I planned to study dance after school. I danced from the age of 6, ballet, modern dance, everything you can think of. And that's the first thing I had to give up when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. So I had to stop dancing, I had to change my career path. I studied performing arts and I studied journalism post-grad, which was very challenging. Even in that industry, it is still very challenging. People don't have enough information about the disease. They are not educated. There are lots of misconceptions. It's only old people that get it. And there's sometimes a sense of you faking it because you look fine now, and then for another 2 weeks you can't do anything.
And then you know what I heard? I had an attack whilst I was traveling in Portugal recently, and everybody said, yeah, that's because you wear stiletto heels. I mean, it's always simplified to something to do with the lifestyle, as you say.
Yeah. No, it's something in the body that it's there. It's not going to go away. It's a chronic, lifelong illness.
So obviously on medication, and that's what keeps you going. So chronic medication. What else can you do if you are averse to constantly drugging yourself?
Well, okay, first of all, you get used to being on constant medication. I think there needs to come a time where you do accept that you have the disease, that lifestyle changes need to be made. And you get used to being on the medication. Yes, there are obviously lots of side effects associated with every drug, but luckily the past 4 or 5 years we've had biologic therapy introduced into our country. Biologic therapy stops the disease progression, which is what we need. So in other words, a patient like me who's been diagnosed at the age of 16 will get to the age of 65 and not have joint deformity because I've been on biologic therapy all my life, for most of my life. So it literally stops the disease progression. Biologic therapy is also something that you're going to have to take it chronically. It's very expensive though, and that is where we have a fight to get better access for all our patients, because this is something that patients need to be on, because we can be better. I mean, I can dance again.
What about exercise? Because my doctors initially, when I did, they do that spinal check, that x-ray, and I was told it would be in my best interests to begin a rigorous exercise program.
Well, it depends. If you have a lot of swelling, it is preferable that you don't do too much exercising. Mild form of exercising is the best thing, and that is also why we have created a campaign called Live and Dance for Life, because dancing is a great fun way, and it's a mild form of exercise for patients living with rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, which is a spinal disease, psoriatic arthritis, psoriasis, and Crohn's disease, which is an intestinal disease. So really to get patients to start moving again, seeing lives transformed thanks to biologic therapy, but also still facing challenges of costings.
How can people get involved with Live and Dance for Life?
Well, it's been going now, this year's the 3rd year. Last year we saw probably triple the amount that we had in the inaugural year, because it's a lot more about patient support. There's not a lot of disease awareness around these diseases, and patients feel alone. They don't know many people who have it. So to get patients nationwide in each main region of the country come together, share their thoughts, share their pain, people who know exactly what you're going through, that's basically what it is. And to have that support through a medium of dance to completely transform your life. And that's what we've seen through this campaign.
I know we've run out of time, but I'm suspecting that because of the stress element, it's quite a common disease, but because we don't know how to relate to it, we don't talk about it, so we can't statistically prove how many people are afflicted. Is there something that corporates can do in the workplace to help support employees who may be suffering from it?
The first thing, like I said, biologics is extremely expensive. For instance, the one I take costs 9,000 Rand per month. Not all medical aids will cover you. If they do cover you, you may have a co-payment of 30%. So it's very important to get our corporates to understand the diseases, first of all, to understand that there'd be increased productivity if the patients are on the right medication, and to try and help fund the patients, help them in the financial journey, because that's another part. It's not just the disease. Unfortunately, you have the financial part as well to it.